So Julian asked me to talk about Orphan Black, um, which I guess I should start off by saying it's like one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. Like it's really nothing like I've ever seen before. Having an actress play all these different parts and basically playing three different characters in one scene, like that to me is amazing. I mean, I can say that I would be able to do that, but I doubt it. Tatiana is just super, super talented, and she deserves every award under the sun, and she's so beautiful too. My favorite clone is Allison, which is probably apparent from my posts on Tumblr because I don't know, for me uh she's just so different from the other characters. Like it's so much harder for me to believe that she's Tatiana, I guess, than the other ones. I mean, yeah, Helena is really out there. Cosima is really different, but there's something about Allison that's just so quirky. She's like everything that I don't want to be, but I think that's exciting to me to see this character that's like a soccer mom, stay at home, but at the same time she's like paranoid and has all these problems, and she's like strong and a badass at the same time. So Allison is just really exciting. She's I love her so much. Of course I love all the other clones. I mean, I even love Helena, even though she's insane. But Allison is definitely my favorite. As for like I guess ships on the show, of course, Delphine and Casina, they're just adorable. And Sarah, for me, it's really weird because he gets like sort of paranoid and sort of crazy. And I don't know, I don't really like that side of him at all. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, it scares me. So I'm like on the edge about that ship. I hope they come to some other sort of consensus other than physical. Like, I hope they sit down and have like a really good talk and I don't know, they bond in another way other than just like, oh, we're both in this situation together where it's like really freaky and we don't know what to do. Like, I really hope that their relationship goes to a different level because for me it's really hard to ship them now. I like that it's so non traditional to what we see on TV every day that it's essentially about all these women, even though they're played by the same person, there's still like so many different women in this show, and it's really empowering to me to see that and to see the interactions. And I also love Felix. I love him to death. He and Allison are my favorites. Just whatever, he's totally out of the closet. He's like totally fine about his sexuality. Like he is great. All right, Anonymous asked me my top 10 OTPs. So the first one is Rob and Marjorie. Obviously, if you didn't already get that. And you guys are probably gonna laugh at this list because a lot of them are really like crack shippy, I guess. Even though I don't really consider Rob and Marjorie a crack ship because there are still hints towards it in the book. Well, one hint, but you know. Jamie and Ariane from Game of Thrones. I'll put a link in the description. So if you're really curious as to why on earth I would like them together, then you can find out why. Hank and Marie from Breaking Bad. Ian and Castiel from Supernatural. I don't post anything supernatural on this blog just because I'm not a big fan of the fandom. Like, I try to stay away from it because there are just so many ship wars and fighting about Dean's sexuality and all this stuff, and I just do not feel like dealing with that. But I like silently ship them. This is a more recent one, a new one, because I started getting into Welcome to Night Vale. Cecil and Carlos, I think they're the most adorable. They're just so cute. I love them so much. Back when Inception was a big thing, um, I was a fan of Arthur and Eames from Inception. I still go back every once in a while and read like fic about it. They're awesome. This may seem weird, but Esmeralda and Phoebus from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. For some reason, I just really love them more than any other Disney couple. Maybe it has to do with them being like Phoebus or is Jamie and Esmeralda is like Ariane and cartoon form, but I think they're so cute. And here we get into like the Avatar, The Last Airbender, and I apologize if you've never seen that, but I was a big fan of Aang and Katara always. And this one, you guys are probably gonna be like, "What is wrong with this girl?" Um, Toph and Zuko, Taco, Derek and Casey from Life with Derek is my number 10. Pretty much everyone who watched that show wanted them to be together, like 98%, I'd say. And Classfinger, because Life with Derek again is supposed to be happening, and I think they will head down that direction if it ever does. All right. Anonymous asked me how I met my boo. I the first time I met him, we were at IHOP after these theater awards, which is where everyone dresses up, and like looks really nice, and you go up on stage to get your award. We went to IHOP and we ended up sitting at the same table. I was like, oh, he's so cute, and he ordered like a deep fried pancake. This is so creepy that I remember this. But he ordered a deep fried pancake with boysenberry syrup, and it was like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But so technically that was the first time we met, but God only knows if he remembers that. I'm just creepy. The next year, I was a sophomore and he was a senior, and we auditioned for the play at my high school, which was called How the West Was Done. It was one of the most awful. My school is really poor, so we couldn't really afford the right to a nice show. Like, we couldn't ever do a musical or even like a straight play like The Crucible or Pygmalion or something because those cost a lot of money to do. And so we ended up going with these really horrible knockoffs. So I auditioned and he auditioned, and I got the part of Polly Wanda Cracker. He got Sheriff Wayne John or something like that. And so we were the leads in the school play, and that's how we pretty much met and started hitting it off. Somehow, 5 years 5 years later, we're together, which is kind of awesome.